Okay, welcome back to the top 50 tracks of all time. Today we are looking at track 45. I forgot to mention yesterday, or the last video, I can't really say yesterday in terms of time here, that after going on about how the 90s were the biggest featured decade, I then forgot to mention the first of the 90s when it arrived, which Precious Things, Tori Amos, was from 1992. So that was the first of the 90s. Today's track is also from the 90s, a couple of years later, 94. And this artist, I sort of need a bit more time than I've got. I could go on about her forever. Not only as solo artist, but also part of two bands. I had a series going on my music blog a few years ago. I might have to revisit that one, which I call, obviously the 13 is a significant number for me, so I decided to talk about the 13 gods and goddesses of music, those that I consider have had the most influence on me and my tastes, and those that I appreciate listening to the most. This particular artist is easily among those 13, both for music style, energy, lyrics, the whole package basically. First started listening to her as a them, and how this came about was in the late 80s. I was very much into a TV programme, a music TV programme on, I think it was Channel 4 every Friday. I can't actually remember the name of it now. But what they did is every week they had like the standard charts, the official charts, with videos from tracks in that chart. But they also every week had a different theme. So for example, a different genre. So they would have the top 10 indie, or the top 10 rock, or the top 10 heavy. So it broadened my music taste a little bit, because I got to hear about new music. And in the indie section they had this particular band in one week with a track that both me and my sister fell for. Actually, we both thought it was fantastic. I ended up buying an indie compilation tape which had it on as well. But then every weekend I used to pop into Manchester. It was an hour-long bus ride, where we could go to the most wondrous place ever, Affleck's Palace, which was full of all sorts of interesting shops, 2 or 3 really, really good record shops, where I could browse through my indie collection at my leisure, found the album by this band which contained that particular song, and bought it, and then came home and played it quite a lot. The band then, the band carried on, but the lead singer, or one of the lead singers, started a solo career as well, which I thought then was a very wise idea, because most of my favourite stuff that she's been involved in is from solo work, and then has also been involved in another band, a much heavier band I would say, but also lots of fun to listen to. I didn't mention either where this was. It's a new entry, what hasn't featured in the charts before, and comes from actually a lot of people I talk to when I mention this particular artist look a bit confused or surprised, and I never really get it. I see her as like massive and has been around for so long, and everyone should know her and everyone should listen to her. Especially from a track on this album, which was probably her breakthrough, or that, you know, she had guest performance by Michael Stipe from REM singing on the song. The song is called Your Ghost, so quite a few of you probably know now. I was quite impressed that when I got involved with Tina, she actually had the 12-inch of Your Ghost. So she even knew about that. So she hasn't listened to this particular artist that much, unfortunately, but at least she had a good start there. I am, of course, talking about Kristen Hirsch. What a fantastic artist this woman is. The track I have chosen is not Your Ghost, even though it is a great track, but easily my favourite on this album is actually The Letter. The Letter is basically a letter sung, so it's all the requirements of a letter inside there, but he's talking about the protagonist losing it a bit due to relationship issues. Remember, I talked about that before as one of my favourite topics, melancholy and relationship issues. It's sort of heavy, and I like the lyrics have this sort of spiralling effect. You can feel it sort of going round and round and down into a downward spiral, and it just has all the components. I think it's got that subtle but wonderful music Kristen has, but also lyrics are just fantastic, and they really drag you in. So this is a really fantastic tune and well worth listening to. Remember, check them out. Comment as well. If I'm really lucky, I'm going to be tagging Kristen's Twitter account on this particular one, so if I'm really lucky I'll get a response from her. So it'd be cool if I had some comments about what you lot thought about it as well. So we'll cross fingers for that one. Okay, see you later. Enjoy.